Contingency Contract 6 is finally on the way, sadly with the announcement of a dead week. Nevertheless, let's look on the positive side, as the Record Restore feature is added to the game, even more beach skins return, a new Annihilation map replaces the old, and best of all, Thorns reruns with his solo banner. Let's take a closer look. If you find this video useful, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe if you're new here. Also know that I stream quite regularly on Twitch. Links below. As with all CCs, there is one main permanent map for the duration of the event, and a rotating list of 7 stages, each appearing twice. The map is themed after a walk in the dust, but with Gavial the Great Chief returns enemies. His crocs are getting out of control. Time to send in Steve Owen to tame them. On the reward front, the store has a modest though interesting set of rewards. The lower 2 rows are temporarily available for the duration of the event. The top row, however, is added to the permanent store, meaning you can purchase them in future CC events should you not buy them this time around. Couple of tips. First, you need to buy the Warfarin skin if you want to complete the medal set for CC6. Second, don't buy the 5-star class tokens unless you absolutely want them. The currency isn't unlimited, so you can't buy everything, especially if you weren't around for previous CCs. There are also several furniture sets joining us, some of them permanently in the furniture shop, and mid-event, a new Originium Dust themed Annihilation stage will replace the current Undertide stage. Hope you like slugs. Let's talk currency. Contingency Contract currency is the most different of all event currencies. For one, it is the same currency across all contingency events, and never expires, so you can save and spend in future events should you wish. Of course, not all rewards are permanent, so the system incentivizes you to spend on materials and leveling right away. Furthermore, you can't farm an unlimited amount. If you complete all challenges, all daily maps to risk 8, and the permanent map to risk 18, you will earn a little over 4,500 currency. Buying everything new to the store costs a little bit more than that, and if you aren't a veteran player and you want to buy some older items, such as a potential for bagpipe, you need to be even more considerate. Skip the XP tickets, Orirox and Polyester, since they are the worst value, if you want to buy more old stuff. Like always, skip the furniture parts. On another note, you will notice these golden triangles given as rewards for completing certain challenges and risk levels. During the event, these unlocked more contract options for the permanent stage. After the event, they convert into supply boxes that provide random materials, whether you spent these triangles or not. I repeat, you don't need to leave them unused to collect the supplies, so do unlock those extra contracts. As CCs cost 0 sanity to participate in, you can farm outside of the event. Rather conveniently, all supply stages are open for the duration of the event. That means you can farm chips, skill books, and red vouchers to your heart's content. This is the perfect time to farm red vouchers if you intend to buy the class tokens from the red voucher store before Neolight in 2 months replaces them with new ones. It takes a lot of sanity to buy a set of 6-star tokens, so if you want to get them, you need to start farming now. A new feature is being added to Arknights with this patch as well. Record Restore is a means of acquiring older exclusive rewards from older events that you may have missed out on. In the case of CC6, the Record Restore for the Heart of Surging Flame event is being added to the Side Story Archive. Now, in the Side Story Archive, the Heart of Surging Flame is already there. However, you can't collect any of the exclusive rewards from that event. Now, when you complete all the content from that Side Story event, you will then be given for free, completely free, apart from the sanity, of course, required to complete the stages, all of the rewards. That means Ceylon with max potential, with the furniture set, with the plaques, with the icon. And in future, there will be more record restores added for the archive events that you see in the Side Story and Intermezzi area. Future patches will also bring record restore to the mini story events in the story archive, down in the bottom left of the home screen. That's where you'll be able to obtain old operators like Flamebringer, Snowscent, and even old skins like one for Telopsis. And this is a permanent feature, which means that any new account coming along is going to have more and more free content and free rewards given to them right out of the gate. Now, the banner operators. Thorns reruns on his solo banner with a special rate up of 50% chance on a 6-star pull, twice the chance of a standard banner. There is no better banner for him. Also, keep in mind, this is his last rerun. You won't get this bonus rate up in future. We also have 5-star Sniper Andriana, 5-star Master of Floof Provence. We just received a free skin for her in Vigilo, and 4-star Sushi Chef Jay. He'll make you any seafood you want, except sea urchin, of course. time for my boy Thorns. Where to begin with this absolute lad? Thorns is one of, if not the most versatile operators in the game. He is a ranged guard that deals considerable mixed damage, physical and arts, to all enemies, ground, air and sea, and he regenerates. With his third skill, his main, his attack and speed increase, his range expands to that of a sniper, and it removes the distant damage penalty of a ranged guard. Activated a second time, and the stat buffs double, and the skill becomes permanent. Pulling Thorns is an easy recommendation for all players. However, if you don't have the Arundum or you are desperately saving for Radiant Knurl in 2 months, do note that Thorns debuts in the Gold Certificate store in 5 months from now. So you have the option to not pull here and buy him later for 180 Gold Certificates. Do you have the patience though when this much cool is before you? I recommend him one way or the other. More importantly, where does Thorns rank on the Husbando tier list? Check the video in the description to find out. On another note, if you're looking to start Arknights or want to make an alt account, this banner is a great time to start if you don't want to wait 2 months for Radiant Knurl. Just reroll until you get Thorns plus 1 good 6-star from the starter banner, preferably Silver Ash or Exia. There are 6 returning skins from the Coral Coast collection, continuing the summer fun, and 1 free one from the CC store. The new headline skin for CC6 is a beach skin for Vampire Medic Warfarin. At least she brought an umbrella to stay out of the sun. Returning are Vigna, Gummy, who reminds me of Marilyn Monroe, Shining, a hugely popular skin, and it's obvious why, Skyfire, afraid of the water, Ifrit, doing what she does best, and finally Sora, with a complete disregard of the dangers of putting electronics near water. Now we arrive at the guide for the CC map itself. I won't be guiding you step by step. This is more of a DIY guide where I explain the map and give you tips to clear risk 18 within the first week for that trimmed medal. Any higher risk level has no reward but the satisfaction of success. I will include a link in the description by YouTuber Drails if you want to tackle max risk. Keep in mind it is tough to complete max risk and requires a whale team. Alright, risk 18. First, let's get to know the enemy. We have basic crocs, no threat, punchy crocs that lower defense on each hit, so don't let them hang around, but they're no real threat, and snipers. These chums will snipe any operator out in the sandstorm. You don't want to deploy in the storm anyway, so they aren't much of an issue. More troublesome are the other 3 enemies. The caster crocs hit for a fair amount at a high attack speed, so they take a while to walk around into range of your operators. At risk 18, they aren't a major threat, however at higher risk where you have to buff them, they become the most dangerous foes. Next we have the infiltrators. When struck, they create a clone that distracts allies. While the clone is alive, you can't block the infiltrators and they dodge like mad when in the sandstorm. They will leak if you aren't careful. And the toughest crocs on the block are the duelists. These big beauties like to get in close and 1v1 an operator. While blocked, they only take damage from their blocking opponent. Lastly, we meet the real enemy of this map, the sandstorm. Placing an operator in the sandstorm lowers their attacks, drains life, and increases redeployment. Let's not forget taking a bullet to the head from enemy snipers. During the first week of this event, the wind blows from the right to the left with the contract active. These dirt mounds, those cracked blocks you see, will protect you for a time from the storm. The wind will eventually erode them and all hell will break loose, so you can't dally with that dilly. Due to the sandstorm, placement is limited. Thankfully, it's not as bad in the first week as it is in the second, where the wind blows from top to bottom. Our concern is week 1. You can choose to not take any contract that affects the wind and it will blow left to right instead. However, with proper placement, the wind isn't an issue, so it becomes a free contract point. Next, let's talk enemy pathing. To begin with, a few minor crocs will wander down the right side. Not a threat, your vanguards should be able to handle them. Meanwhile, a punchy croc will break down the mound in the top lane, after which all traffic will divert down the center lane. Only snipers will take the right lane from then on. As I said, snipers aren't a threat as long as you stay undercover. A stream of minor and punchy crocs will flow down the center. These aren't an issue. The problems arise from the other 3 enemy types. The 3 casters deal frequent damage that will kill your units if not careful. Nightingale is the perfect counter if you struggle with them. Alternatively, a Silver Ash swing over the wall does the job if you want to kill them quickly. That said, we won't be taking the contract that increases their range and nearly doubles their stats, so they aren't a big issue. They too take the center lane. More annoying are the infiltrators. There's only 2 of them, but these guys will do their utmost to leak past. If you can hit them first while undercover, preventing their sandstorm dodge, you will have a much easier time. These will spawn on the far right and take the long way around, down the left, into the exit from below. This is designed so that you are likely to hit them in the storm at the top lane. That leaves us with the duelists. At risk 18, these are the toughest enemies due to their 1v1 mechanic. However, there are several operators that thrive in duels and can single-handedly defend them. 4 duelists go down the left side, while 1 wanders off through the center. Now that we know the map and its enemies, we can discuss suitable operators for this mission. To counter the duelists, the like of Helliger or Jay can destroy them. For an even safer clear, Calcet and her little pet monster will devour them in seconds, even the infiltrators. If you struggle with the duelist, borrow Calcet so that you can use the rest of your team to deal with the center. Speaking of center, defending your base from the right side, anyone will do. A healing defender is fine. But if you want them to contribute something more, use a range guard facing up to hit the top lane. Thorns is ideal, but low rarities like Arene or even Midnight will do. Activate skills to kill the casters or infiltrators sooner. Eyjafjallajökull on the top island can unleash a firestorm to clear the board when things get hairy. Accompany her with a slow supporter, even Orchid, and most enemies won't get near your base. Try to avoid actually blocking anything but the weakest enemies. The final concern is the one duelist that goes solo mid. Save your burst skills to deal with him. Ashe is great here since she can also shred the top on command. Another great wildcard pick is Gladia that can drag enemies down the hole. If you don't have some or all of the operators mentioned, think of which combinations of weaker units can emulate them. Risk 18 can be completed with as little as 2 6-star operators or with a low rarity E1 squad accompanied by 1 6-star sweeper. I will of course be streaming this event so you can join me for advice, or we have a Discord where you can ask for help as well. Links below. And that's all you need to know about CC6 Operation Wild Scales. CCs are the toughest content in Arknights, but they scale with the difficulty level you choose, so anyone can participate. They cost no sanity either, so you can try as many times as you want. If you enjoyed this video, please click the like button and share it around. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. You can also join me on Twitch, where I stream several times a week. Enjoy the event.